Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to My Chamber TV. Yes, you've got me again. Miss Barbara's on a hiatus for a little while because of the summer, because it's hot. It's hot in Florida. It's hot in Florida. We're going to jump into the gate right now. I tell you what, Doug did a great job at the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce, and the lineup today is absolutely amazing. I got Mike. He is Helmstetter from the Jolley Trolley. Now, I've known the Jolley Trolley since you got started. It's awesome. But you have something coming out of the gate. We're going to come work because it could be scary fun. I'm just saying, scary fun, right? Mike, thanks for being on with it. Let's talk about what's going on with the Jolly Trolley.
Oh, thank you for having me. So first, we've been around now for 40 years, as we were just talking about. We are a not-for-profit 501(c)(3) company, and looking out for the community and just making things so great right now. We have been in the process of working with the Clearwater Historic Society, along with the Dunedin Museum, and they have put together hundreds of years of factual history and the real hauntings that sit there, perhaps still today.
That is cool. I love the Dunedin Museum. So now these are the true factual stories, not because everybody's got these made up stories, and then when people go and they'll look at it and they'll go, oh wait a minute, that's not right. This is the way it actually is. So the historical society is kind of also saying, no, this is the real truth.
Oh yeah, and then we actually went out and we found this writer named Joshua Ginsberg.
Oh yeah, okay.
Okay, and he's written now 4 books in the Tampa area and the hauntings. He spent a lifetime doing the research and developing these stories, working with the Historic Society, working with the Dunedin Museum, with Vinny's assistants and Allison's assistants. And what we've done is we got a sound engineer guy that is he's off the charts dynamite. Like Disney would want to have their hands on this guy. And we put together this in a way to showcase these areas from Spottiswood to the actual story that started back in the 1500s with the first Indians here on the grounds of what then became the Biltmore. And the stories that we've uncovered have been just absolutely amazing. But one of the greatest stories actually that you could ever even hope for, dream for, is how this entire thing had launched. So both the Historic Society and the museum was working with the newspaper, the Tampa Times, and it was Catherine Hare, and she was writing this story about the largest loss of life and tragedy ever to happen in Pinellas County. That was back in like 1953. 33 people lost their lives that day. Nursing home disaster. Well, there was a hero that sat within there, and she was an orphan out of Michigan. And she went in, came out with some people, and she went in one too many times, never made it back out.
Oh.
Well, she sits there buried today in the Clearwater Municipal Cemetery with no headstone.
Huh.
So the Tampa Times, Catherine reaches out to me, and when we launched this, we wanted to have a special purpose with the tour to make certain of its success.
Right.
And that was to take half of our proceeds and put it towards getting this tombstone.
Oh, that's awesome.
And she did the story on it. Well, the next day, a guy that owns a tombstone company called.
There you go.
And he donated that tombstone. So how wonderful that is.
Right.
So then now we want to actually be a good neighbor. And there's one more tombstone that sits right there next to her, and that too has no headstone. And that was the lady that the two of them passed together.
Okay.
So we're going to actually make certain that she too gets her proper.
So okay, now is this going to be a nightly thing, a weekend thing?
It is every night. It will run. Right now, we're going to run 6 times a night. When it starts getting dark a little early, we'll be running 8 times a night.
Okay.
But these stories are something that it'll knock your socks off. I mean, it is just unbelievable. But the thing is, if you're scared,
right,
you may want to catch the earlier ones,
Right,
because
right.
the later in the evening, it seems like the more ghosts come out.
Right.
But like any dolphin adventure, I mean, I can't guarantee that you're going to see a dolphin.
Right, exactly.
But I tell you what, I'm going to take you to the places where we know,
Right.
and that people have seen, and over again, they're there. Will you see them or not?
Okay, so I guarantee you, I've got people now going, "Oh, this is going to be awesome," because now is it going to be strictly a go park and look, or are you going to go get out, allow
So we're
some
going to take
roaming
you
around?
to places where you could never go.
Okay.
And we are not getting off the trolley at any point in time for respect of when we actually get into the cemetery. It's dark out. We don't want to make certain that everybody's rights are respected.
Right. Right.
When we go into some other exclusive areas here through the gates, to be once again respectful of everybody, we're going to stay in that trolley. It's to get the amount of people that would have value from such a thing. We needed to limit the time. It's a 75-minute tour.
Okay, that's my next question. How long is this tour?
And we have 2 pickup spots. One's at Pier 60, and we're working with the Amplify, which are, oh my God, they're fantastic people there. They're so thrilled to be part of helping us. So they've really become a nice partner here with us as well. And Christina over there is just, oh my God, she's just incredible. But you'll be able to purchase tickets there on our website, or several other places, but that'll be your easiest things.
So where's the second pickup?
So
at?
from there, once we leave Pier 60, we
Okay.
drive right over the bridge and we go to the Historic Society.
Oh, okay.
So they have opened their property and their gated parking lot here for this. So anybody that's not like in one of the hotels that doesn't have a car, we're coming to you. But anybody else, come over to the Historic Society Park there. That's our second launch.
Okay.
Don't get out of the car until actually, though, the trolley gets there. And I say that for your safety, because it may be haunted there.
That's awesome.
It was actually at one time, I don't know, they probably don't like the word exact, but it was an insane asylum at one point. Now, granted, that was only during a movie.
That was a very, I was gonna say, that was during a movie.
However,
Yes.
in the basement there,
Yep.
which is like the cellar of there, which is the oldest school in Pinellas County. It was the first original school.
Yes.
Well, there happened to be a tragedy there. And Allison, that actually is the lady that runs the place, and just she brings her dogs there. Well, in that room where he had died, the lights, first of all, will turn on, they'll turn off. They've tried putting new bulbs in. People are now afraid of going in there. Allison's dogs will not even go in there.
Wow.
And she refuses to go back in. I
that's
stepped foot
crazy.
in there like a week ago to look at that, and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's something there. So bottom line, stay in your car till the trolley gets there for your safety.
What's the cost?
The tickets will be starting at $22. For
Okay.
children, $19.
Nice.
So real value. It's a tour like you're never going to see. It's kind of like a mysterious.
So
kind of
is this a
adventure.
short-term thing until we get through the holidays, or is this going to be all the time?
This is all the time.
That is so cool.
This will run forever. For the amount of people that would want to actually take the time to see something spectacular, it needs to go on forever.
Oh, I've got a paranormal team, so we'll have to reach out to you and say, hey, let's take a trip.
Let's do that like actually soon. So maybe even by the time that this airs,
Yeah.
This will actually be
That would
on.
be cool. Yeah, we could put that on there. So how do people get a hold of you?
So we have our website.
Okay.
First of all, you can actually go on for that to hauntedclearwater.com, but our website itself is clearwaterjollytrolley.com, and that also goes over, our routes, which we just added some super nice features onto that
indeed.
right now for the easeability of you being able to see what time your trolley is exactly at. It's amazing now. Our trolley rental section that you see up there, that really gets into like another major part of our business is doing so many weddings.
Right. Yes. Yes.
And what better way of getting, the group of people that came there to support you on that great day here of getting from the restaurants, the amazing restaurants actually that sit upon there in Clearwater Beach, but also here then to the venue, perhaps a beach wedding, and it doesn't need to be on the beach, but the Jolley Trolley is like the attraction that will take you back and forth to your venue.
Right.
And, you know, especially today with the responsibility of you know, we all love to consume a little bit of alcohol once in a while, leave your car where you are,
right,
and ride the Jolley Trolley.
Mike, thank you for being on today. Win, this is some good information. So all you scare people that if you want to use the trolley, just rent the trolley out. They actually rent it out for you, and you can take it for an hour or two, I think it is. And then you know what? If you want to go get scared, there you go, right there. Thanks for watching. We'll be right back after this short message. We got some great guests lined up on My Chamber TV. Be right back. Hey everybody, we're back and we're here with Will Miller from Nielsen. That's a TV guy talking to a TV guy that actually watches the TV guy watching the TV guys, so that way they know the numbers of the TV people watching the TV guys watching the TV guys.
I need to write that down. I'm gonna have to write that down.
All right. So, so you guys have been around for almost 100 years, right?
That's right. We were founded in 1923, so we're celebrating our 100 years here next year.
That is now. Tell people at home what Nielsen actually does.
Yeah, so I will state that 1923, that TV wasn't around. So we didn't start with TV, but started measuring television in 1950. And we are a global media and consumer measurement company that measures media consumption habits across all screens.
Right.
Right.
Now, before it was, I mean, you guys were radio first, right? Radio.
Right.
And
in the 1930s,
TV.
and then 1942, we started issuing radio ratings. And then we actually took a break from radio. And you're probably familiar with Arbitron.
Arbitron.
And they kind of got big. And we actually acquired Arbitron a little while back. So we still do some radio,
right,
as well as television, so that we can cover both in-home viewing and out-of-home viewing.
So my question, are you viewing net as well, the internet stuff as well, the streams?
Yes, that's a big deal. So for those of you that use a phone, a tablet, or even your computer to view television, or even non-ad supported content, we measure all of that to inform the entire ecosystem. So some of those big streaming platforms, the Netflixes of the world, they don't have any ads, so they're not trying to sell ad content, but the companies that create that content want to know how many people are watching.
That's correct.
How much should I be charging for it? What should my next show be? So our data fuels that future and those decisions that get made.
So you're the ones that said, yes, Netflix, do Stranger Things. Because
listen, we just put the data out there, and season 4 has been pretty scary, but
awesome.
They could use that data to say, hey, we need to change something, or maybe we need to try and market it differently, or do something different with it to help make more money or make it better.
Is it like the old days where you pick these certain random families and they have a little black box that's up there that really tracks, or is it we get to feed through the cable companies and the broadcasting side?
Yes.
See?
All the above. Yeah, I was going to say this guy knows too much. So we still have the statistical sample of homes, where all across America we have real people who have agreed to participate in the Nielsen ratings. We give them a little bit of an incentive to participate each month or every 6 months, and we have a black box, so to speak, that is installed on their television. So with that, we can use that statistical panel to then inform a larger data set. And so we could say that males age 45 who are employed and make $500,000 a year, watch X, Y, who own their own business, right? Watch certain shows, and so advertisers can use that data, because you are unique, but there's a good chance that people like you watch similar shows, and so we can use that data. We also do use some back-end data from cable companies that allow us to purchase that data that we can use to build our sample. And then in addition to that, for the online piece, we use some apps that run on phones that people allow us to do. Everything is with consent, right?
Right.
We do offer an incentive for many of our panels.
Right.
And so we're able to use all of the big data as well as that granular data you referenced to create good data.
Yeah, because that was my next question is, with the, I remember back in the day, I was the remote. Mm-hmm. I was the one go change the channel, John.
Oh my gosh,
okay.
yes. The gal I work for, the older brother would say go change the channel.
But with the onset of cable boxes, mm-hmm. that had to change. You got how you track now, correct?
For sure. And so I think we did some math, and there's over 10,000 stations available,
right?
Just on cable. That's not counting all of the streaming stuff,
right?
And so, we went from when you had a tuner and maybe 3 to 10 channels mm-hmm. where we'd have to attenuate and do all these things, and with a tuner where it's all digital. And so we have agreements with the television stations and all the cable and satellite companies where they insert an inaudible code into all of those different feeds so that our equipment can detect it. And we've done extensive testing to make sure that it's totally inaudible and it doesn't affect the quality of the programming, and so on and so forth. So that is something that we've had to evolve. And now with all of the digital, right? Because all that stuff doesn't necessarily have any type of identifier. We've had to again evolve and innovate to be able to measure all of that viewing. Because you think about it, we've been in business 100 years. We haven't been doing the exact same thing for 100 years, right? We're not like some of these companies that can just make one product and everybody buys it for 100 years. Consumers have changed, and we have had to evolve along with them.
That is absolutely fun. Now you work for the Nielsen that's based in Oldsmore, correct?
That's correct. So I've worked for Nielsen for 14 years. We have been in Pinellas County since 1972 in Dunedin, and so we've evolved. Again, it's all about evolution and evolving and innovating. We built the Oldsmore facility and opened it in 2003. That is our largest office in the world, and right now we have close to 1,000 employees that call that their home base, and I have called that my home base now for those 14 years. So I started out knocking on doors. So we talk about the black boxes and the people. Yeah, I know. It's full circle.
I was getting ready to go back to that.
Yeah, so I started out, I would get these statistically selected addresses, and I would recruit the household to participate, offer them a little bit of a monthly incentive check that they'd receive, and then they would allow us to put the equipment on their TV, and they would then be a part of the Nielsen television ratings. And so started there. I've had a couple of different jobs, and right now I work in community engagements. And that's really why, we're part of the chambers that we are. At one time, we were part of 7 chambers in the state of Florida. Right. We participate in a number of nonprofit boards in those capacities because we're a B2B company, right? So we provide data to other businesses like ABC, NBC, Fox, all the major networks and these content creators, but we rely upon people across the U.S. and around the state of Florida to provide us with data. So we want to build that goodwill with the community, and we want them to understand that that we're using the data to create a better media future. And so that's kind of why we're here and why we do what we do in the community engagements department.
So if I'm a producer and I'm trying to go, okay, well I want to put the next big hit. And now I'm a TV guy, so I'm a TV guy. I love.
You might already have an idea.
I watch tons of TV, which my wife I don't sleep. I get to watch.
You're doing research for your job.
I am, exactly. So if I'm looking for a certain genre of show to put on, can I reach out to Nielsen and go, okay, here's my idea.
Yep.
What do you think?
Yep, we can provide you the data to support your decision to see what genres are growing, what day parts they're being viewed in, whether you might want to monetize it with commercial advertising on a network, or whether you want to sell it straight to streaming, get that one big paycheck. We can help you make those decisions. Absolutely. So, we'll sign the contract today.
All right. See, here you go. I'm sold.
I'm not in sales. Sales. I'll connect you with a client.
But that's great information, because I remember back in, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. We had a show on Ion in 2004, and we didn't think it was doing that well. And then old man here had a heart attack, so I kind of stopped. But Ion came to me and said, "Man, your Nielsen ratings were phenomenal, and you should really consider getting back on air." And I didn't know, we've always known about you. Every time a show gets canceled, I'm like, no.
But you don't think, listen, anytime something goes wrong,
it's all your fault.
We hear about it.
But it does. It's a great tool for us producers that go, okay, I think I have the next big show.
Absolutely.
Call you guys up and go, what do you think? And it's like, well, you're getting into a bunch of 100 other home improvement shows,
right?
Or
how do you differentiate?
Right. How do you set your self apart? And that's where you guys come in.
Absolutely.
I do remember your first building in Dunedin. It was like a little call center type thing, and
yeah.
I'm like, wow. That's
so we moved that into the Oldsmar building, so we could all be one Nielsen.
Beautiful location.
It is.
We did for the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce. We did a trade show there for the.
Oh yeah.
It was for the manufacturing.
There you go, Jerry Custon, I think.
Yeah, Jerry was awesome. Yeah. You guys still doing stuff like that for the community?
We are moving back into that with being a global company and having to maintain all of the safe pandemic protocols. We are working back towards really opening up to the community. We have more recently opened back up to our employees and trying to create that, that great workspace, that great culture that we're working towards. And so, we're very much in touch with the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber and local nonprofits because we do have a beautiful event space. We've got a great place for them to host, and we allow them to do it for free. And we'll continue to do that when it makes sense and when we're able to do that.
We got 1 minute and 20 seconds left. Is there anything that you want these people to know or that you need? Like, do you need employees or do you need more people to track? It's a bit of watch stuff so that you guys know what's going on.
Yeah, we can always, again, use that participation by the public. So as our old saying goes, audience is everything. So if you're ever asked to participate in a Nielsen study or survey, if you get an email, if you get a phone call, if someone shows up like a Will Miller at your door, just get a little bit of info, decide if it's right for you, and we love it if you would say yes and participate in that survey because you could make a little bit of extra money and you could be a part of the television rating. So we would love that opportunity for you.
Will, thank you for being on, man.
Pleasure.
I really appreciate it. It's really good to talk to you guys because, old guys like me think we know everything, and then we sit with these young cats and go, that's
sounds like you already knew it all. Man, you didn't need
me. Not really. So stick around. We have great more guests coming up. I think we have, I know we have the Wikle properties people that are coming on, and I think we have an AC guy because right now we all need a good AC. Oh my God, do we need a good AC guy? So stick around. We'll be right back after these short messages. All right, we're back. You know what? It's hot. Oh my God, is it hot. It seems like this is the hottest summer. I've lived here now 24 years, and it seems like to me this is the hottest year we have. This is Steve Phillips with Arizona. How you doing there, buddy? Everything going good? You guys busy?
Yes, we are definitely busy. And as you said, I've been down here since 1984. And it seems like every summer gets hotter and hotter.
Yep.
We had a fantastic winter as far as weather-wise, but
beautiful, wasn't it?
This summer is hot though.
I think it took everybody. I think we all get lulled into this little happy place and went, it wasn't a bad winter. It was really kind of nice, and then boom, here's the heat, and it's like, oh crap, forgot to get my schedule maintenance done, and I forgot to get this, and it wasn't doing this. So let's talk about Arizona. How long have you been around Arizona?
We've been around since 1997, located in Oldsmar. And we're basically a residential, light industrial, and commercial company.
Okay.
Mainly our business is residential. Probably about 75% is residential.
Okay.
We service Pinellas County, Spring Hill area. We do all of Hillsborough. We do out to Lakeland and Kissimmee. So we're spread out quite a bit.
Okay. Now, are you new builds or are you going in fix, repair, and replace?
No, we don't do any new residential construction whatsoever. Okay. We have a builder that we deal with that does the commercial buildings, like these little small villas and so on.
Right.
And we have one builder that we work with doing those in the area. But we don't do any new construction. It's simply existing residential change outs, service, repairs.
Okay, that's cool. Cool, literally cool. It's cool. So, what's if my air conditioner's not keeping up right now? Is it just because it's just super hot, or could there be big problems?
Generally, it should be able to keep up. If the unit is sized right for the home, it should keep up, able to cool the house. There are some factors that would cause it not to cool as well. Extremely hot temperatures would do it. Air conditioners are designed to maintain a certain temperature differential between the inside and the outside of the house. So it will affect it a little bit. It will definitely cause the air conditioning systems to run a lot longer. The best thing a customer can do as far as energy efficiency and keep the air conditioning bills down is to make sure they have good windows and get insulation in their attic. Insulation in the attic will make a big difference as far as keeping the house cooler and keeping the electric bill down.
I didn't run this by you before we sat down here, but you know, I have a lot of my friends going, I don't understand what's going on. The humidity in my house is like super high all the time. Is that because they're trying to, in the summertime, is it because they're away and the air conditioner's not where it's supposed to be, or?
Well, here's the thing with air conditioning. People don't realize air conditioning is exactly what it says. It conditions the air. It doesn't just cool it. What it does is it takes the humidity, which is the moisture in the air, it removes the moisture from the air and cools the temperature down at the same time. So what a lot of people do is if they get some cool days, they'll open up the windows, cool the house down or whatever with the air, but if they're letting in humidity, they're going to make their air conditioner work harder to cool down again. It's keeping the humidity out of your house, which is important. So if somebody were to go away for the summertime, they need to have the air conditioner able to come on to maintain a certain temperature in the house, keep the humidity out. It could be 90 degrees in the house. If there's no humidity in there, you're not going to get any mold and mildew. That's the biggest thing people do when they go away for the summer. They get humidistats or they keep it set at a certain temperature so the air will run.
That's good. And in like just the people that are just that stay at home, you know, they're not going, but they, you know, we all kind of try to find ways to save some money. And I have a friend of mine that he'll leave his AC at 80 during the day while he's not there and get home. And then he'll walk in and go, man, it just feels sticky in my house. Probably because
it may be a little too high. Generally, people ask me, you know, what temperature is the ideal setting? What should I keep it on? And the only thing I tell them is whatever you're comfortable with. I don't like it that cold in my house. I try to keep it at about 75. That would keep me comfortable. My wife likes it at 73, which makes me cold. But I think that's I think that's typical between husband and wife. The husband wants it warmer, the wife wants it colder most of the time. But if you can find a medium temperature, I would say 80 is kind of high in the summertime to keep your air conditioning system. I would say keep it at least at 78. You know, that would maintain it. And if you go away for the day, sometimes it's not good to raise the air up. I mean, you want to raise it up if you have it extremely low, but if you raise it up too high, then you're not controlling the humidity that's coming into the house. And if you turn it down once you get home, it's going to take longer to run to get that humidity out of the house before it drops the temperature.
So how many times a year should we be working on our units?
The manufacturer recommends once a year. Now, granted, if you have an AC system up in New Jersey or Virginia and you have it checked once a year, it's understandable that down here in Florida, we're running that AC system almost 3/4 of the year. So it is advisable to have it checked twice a year. Most people say, well, if it isn't broke, I don't want to have it checked. Well, that's might be true if you're having a car and you want to get the oil change and don't do anything else to it, but the AC system is a little bit different. Just to give you a quick example, I had a gentleman one time who had his AC system checked in the fall when he came back from being up north, and then the next year he didn't have it checked until the fall again. Well, what happened is when he came back down for the summer to use it, it didn't work. And when I went out there to look at the AC system, a pile of red ants had built up around the bottom of his compressor, and they chewed through his electrical wires to the compressor. So when he turned it on, it shorted out the compressor. So he lost like a $700 compressor. Had he had it checked or serviced,
I was gonna say a maintenance call, I've been just fine.
It would have prevented the
awesome.
compressor from going out. Yeah, so there are reasons.
Keeping the debris around your air conditioner outside is a really good idea, and keeping it clean is probably a really good idea.
Right.
That's something we can do ourselves, right? Just kind of hose it down a little bit.
Correct. Okay. Don't let your bushes get up against the air conditioning system, because that outside unit has to get air to make it cool down. And if you keep about a foot between the AC unit and the shrubbery, that should be fine.
Okay.
And also, if you have a dirty area around the condenser where it's sand or dirt, not much grass, you might want to take a hose and wash that condenser coil down once a year. Just take it on a light spray and just spray the condenser coils down when the unit's not running.
Okay.
And that'll keep the dust and keep the coils clean for best performance.
Oh, there you go. That's
yeah. The other big thing customers need to be aware of is the condensate drain line. That's important.
right.
If it isn't cleared out periodically, it's going to back up your water, it's going to go into your ceiling, or it'll shut the system down if it has a safety switch,
Right.
and then you need a service call. So the drain lines should be checked at least once, if not twice a year.
Okay.
The biggest issue we have is in the beginning of the summertime, when people first start turning the air on, is the drain lines back up, because the unit has sat not running for a couple of months during the winter. The water and algae build up into the drain line and it hardens, and it's like cholesterol in your arteries. And if it isn't cleaned out, it's going to build up to the point where now the water can't get down the pipe.
So is it a good idea, like like for us full timers down here, to pour a little bit of vinegar or bleach in the drain?
If you can reach your condensate drain line where you're able to pour half a cup of vinegar down that drain
Vinegar,
line.
okay.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah, that
white
should be
vinegar
done.
or apple cider or cider vinegar? I mean,
White vinegar is fine.
white vinegar is fine.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And if you can do that, do it once a month. I mean, it's not a big deal.
Right.
At least do it twice a year. Do it in the springtime when you get ready to use it, and do it in the fall when you're shutting the AC system down for the winter.
Okay.
Yes, that's a big factor.
So you guys really busy right now?
We are extremely busy.
Right.
It is just, in the beginning of the summer, May usually is the busiest time when we first get the AC systems turned on.
Right.
Everybody has a problem. Everybody wants it done right away. As the systems run through the summer, they're going to break down. Like somebody said, the air conditioner doesn't break down in the winter when you're not using it. It breaks down in the middle of the summer, and most of the time, believe it or not, it seems like it's always on a holiday weekend.
Or in the middle of the night?
I'm having a 4th of July party and my AC system isn't working, and I need you out here yesterday.
Yesterday, right. So the best way to get a hold of you is go to AirZone, your website?
We have a website. We have a 24-hour telephone service. And
Nice.
we're able to get to people within 24 hours. We have 9 service trucks on the road, and we have 2 or 3 installing crews, depending on the busyness that we have.
Right.
But we're able to be gotten in touch with 24 hours a day.
That is all. Steve, thank you, brother, for being on. I appreciate it. Okay, so there you go. You got some really good information all about how to take care of that AC. And hey, look, if you don't want to do it, call Steve Phillips. He'll take care of you. That's what he does. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back after some short messages, because we got 2 more great guests coming on, and we might even get Bevis in here. You never know. He always hates being on TV, but oh well, is what it is. We'll see you guys right after these. Look who I got. Yep, we drug him in, kicking and screaming. So what's going on with the Upper Tampa Bay Chamber of Commerce?
Well, again, we thank you for hosting Chamber TV.
Dude, this was a great location. Yeah. When you first told me where it was at, I'm like, he got the address wrong. I'm like, and where is he going to take us? But this is beautiful.
Yeah, we got some good ones lined up. So for the next couple months. I'm already full for next month. So, yeah. But no, things are going great. That the chamber, as we've said on other shows before, we never really stopped through COVID. We kept on. We pivoted a little bit, but we're putting on some great events. We have some great events coming up. We start second Friday again. Coincidentally, we do it on second Friday. I know that's weird, but
every second Friday. That's crazy.
Yes, but that's going to start back in September. Kind of glad we took the summer off because of the heat.
It's too hot.
It was hot and it rained every Friday so far. So.
I was talking to Steve. I was telling Steve in that interview. I was like, "Oh my God, it's and I hate when old people say this, but I'm old people. This really does seem like the hottest summer I've dealt with down here, and we've been here a little over 24, 25 years.
I moved here in 1982, and it's a thick hot.
It is. It's almost oppressive.
Yeah, and it just sucks the life out of you. So, but so we took the summer off, and then but we replaced it with some events. We recently had casino night, which is where
I did see that. That came through. I'm like, oh, and I missed Summer Splash because we were in the middle of.
Yeah, Summer Splash was a great hit at Innisbrook.
I heard it was packed.
It was packed. Casino night was great. Country western theme, and so I said to Mark, I said, maybe we should do another one, like every 6 months do them. And somebody said beach themed, and then all of a sudden I picture myself in a Borat swimsuit, So.
That would be pricey. I would actually pay to see that. I'm just saying right
now.
But
the people really enjoyed it. It's gambling without the gambling, kind of a thing. And then we have Oktoberfest coming up, which is probably the largest in the Tampa Bay area. We moved it to Tampa Bay Downs. We have a huge tent that holds 700 people, and it'll be great.
Is that a week long?
It's no, it's Friday through Sunday.
Okay.
We got crazy one time and talked about doing it 2 weekends in a row, and then we came to our senses.
That's what I was. That's what I remember. Something like going on.
Yeah, and on Sunday of the first week, we're like, what is wrong with us? Yeah. But it's a great time. Weather permitting, we'll probably have 15,000 people out there. So Carnival rides. It's at Tampa Bay Downs. $5 to get in, unless you grab one of our free tickets and things like that. But it's a great time. Oompa music and.
Now, are you going to have? Is it just going to be food, fun, games, or are you going to have some vendors out there?
We'll have tons of vendors, and then we do the crazy carnival or the crazy Oktoberfest games, stein holding, log sawing. I can't believe we have not killed anybody with keg hurling. We throw a keg, not full of beer, but we throw a full, or I guess it's a half keg, whatever that is, and luckily we haven't killed anybody with it.
Between you and Dunedin, man, I don't know. You guys have always throwing something.
Yeah, they throw the logs or whatever, and so at the Celtic Games, but. No, we look forward to it, and hopefully we'll have a good turnout this year for that as well. And then we took over last November, Celebrate Oldsmar from the city. The city used to put it on. It actually started on July 4th when the city was doing it. It was a one-day event on a Saturday.
Right.
Again, rain, hot.
Just consistent.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we had 4 years in a row we planned to come to film.
Yeah.
And it was pouring. I'm like, dude, I can't. Cameras and water don't mix.
So we moved it to the city moved it to Labor Day, and then same kind of a thing. And so we've now moved it to the weekend before Thanksgiving. So it'll be cool. It'll be nice.
Yeah.
And the chamber took it over.
Right.
So now it's a 3-day event, typical, like Oldsmar days, with carnival rides, car shows, and then the city is chipping in for the fireworks. Probably about a 20-minute fireworks display.
Right.
And I think I might have told you this story before, but beautiful fireworks display. But when they automated it one year, all computer run.
Ran backwards, right? Oh, you did. Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
It ran because it started, and you know how the finale normally is. Yeah. Well, the finale was at the beginning, and I'm like, holy cow, is this how are we going to top that?
Oh my God, when did it start?
So it turns out they, I guess, loaded the program backwards, and it ended with like, poof.
But for all you people that leave early, here's what you would miss all the other years.
Yeah, so no, it's good. So we're going to be doing that, and then we have a lot of nonprofits, which is great with the chamber. We think Wendy Roper handles our nonprofits, and I think we have 34 nonprofits that we work with and try and help them with their cause. Some a little more involved than others. One of our ones, and we've talked about it before, is Holiday Sharing Fund, which started about 12 years ago, providing bikes for the kids of Oldsmar and Safety Harbor.
Yep.
About 90 bikes we provide at that time, and and we've had them on here, in November, it'll be 2 years, we teamed up with Habitat for Humanity of Pinellas and West Pasco. And so every time there's a home dedication, zero interest loan. Everybody has this misconception that they get these homes for free. That's not the case.
That's not true.
It's a zero interest loan. And so every time there's a home dedication, if there's kids involved, we provide the bikes for them. Last fiscal year for Habitat, from July to June, we provided 107 bikes.
Wow.
Which is about $11,000 worth of bikes. So
that is awesome.
You know, and a lot of these kids have never had a bike, much less a brand new bike. And so it's really, it all started with Aspen, our very first one. Martin Gramatic was there because he was part of the team. And Aspen got the bike, and he just hugged Joe's leg, and we knew right then that this was the real deal.
This is the deal.
And it's funny, and some are very quiet and calm, you know, dedications, but others, when we roll up with the bikes, you know, the kids are jumping on the bikes, riding out into the street, you know, and we, as a matter of fact, we had a dedication the other day, and we talked about it. They had one down in Pinellas Park. And they built 70 homes down there in this one community, Habitat did. And you see our bikes, because we get there early, and the kids they're going to school, and there go all the bikes that we had bought, where you see them on the porch. So you know that's the right thing. We actually, if you came to the chamber, we actually have basically a bike shop in there.
You do.
Yeah,
it's funny when that time of year comes around. Or actually, I don't think I've ever been over there in the last 2 years that I've not seen bikes in
There's
there.
bikes, and we're repairing them. We have a relationship with Walmart, and they get some that might be missing pedals or a derailleur, or you know something's wrong with it, and they just don't have the manpower to store them or fix them, so they donate them to us. And you know, we might spend $20-$30 on a bike, and then you know it's good for a kid. Or if it's a bigger bike, we'll take a donation and then buy age appropriate bikes for the chamber, for the kids. But the chamber's growing. We will probably hit 500 members.
So I was getting ready to ask you, how's the membership building?
Membership is great.
Our partners.
Membership is really good, you know, and our numbers aren't, you know, fluffed, if you will. We don't, through the pandemic, we carried some people because it was tough times. And for whatever reason, you know, people don't interact with the chamber. And, you know, as you know, you do a lot of these with a lot of chambers. It takes two, you know.
It does.
You don't just sign up and then things happen. You got to participate, like Chamber TV.
Yeah, so many people, this is what we hear. Well, I was a part of the chamber and never got anything out of it. My first question is, well, how much did you put in?
Right.
Because if you don't put anything in, you're not going to get anything out. I don't care. I don't care what you do in life. If you don't put in, you're not going to get anything out. And they're like, well, I went to one or two things, and then I just didn't have time. I'm like, well, then you know what? You got what you put in. You didn't.
We do, and I tell people, new people that want to be members, we do probably, not counting our big events, Oktoberfest and things like that, Second Friday, we do 15 to 18 events a month for people to interact. We do them in the morning, we do them at lunchtime, we do them in the evening. We don't expect you to come to all of them, but come to something, you know, and so make it worth a while. Everybody that was here today has been, you know, they were at our event last night. So it's important. It's important that I obviously I do radio, 99.5 QIK, and somebody says, I've never won anything on the radio, to your point. And I say, have you ever tried? They go, no.
Well, there you go. So, it's not magic.
No,
it's just
we're not going to call you.
Bob's sitting over there in that truck who's never called in one time. You win.
You win a T-shirt. So,
right.
But no, the chamber is great. I'm now the Director of Public Relations and Government Affairs. I had to think about that for a second. But yeah. So. No, it's great. And we do a lot with a very small staff. Mark is the full-time president and CEO, and me and Joe are part-time. But we get a lot done, and it's because of our volunteer base. You know,
your volunteers are awesome.
Yeah, you can't do, and back to Habitat, they get volunteer hours for doing volunteer work, and they'll help out at Oktoberfest, or they'll help out at Celebrate Oldsmar, and so Habitat has been a great partner for a lot of reasons. So awesome. Yeah, it's great. It's I went from being mayor of the city to being the chamber, and other exciting news. We are opening the Supercross BMX track again.
Really? That's so. I drive by all the time. And I'm like, that's going to be so cool.
Yeah, we had to redo it just because.
We're fine.
We had to redo it just because of structural things, and but Olympians from all over the world will be coming to Oldsmar. Cool. Best track in the world, they said.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Doug,
thank you again.
Hey, stick around. We've got Clover coming up from Paul from the Wikle Real Estate Services, and this is the place we're at today, which is absolutely phenomenal. Stick around. We'll be right back after these messages. All right, and we're back. We saved the best for last.
That's right. I'm ready.
The absolute best for last. So we were Clover, Shearey.
Yep.
And now you go by
Clover.
Clover.
Yeah, four-leaf Clover.
Like four.
That's easy.
Anybody, if they can't remember your name,
they can't.
They're just you don't want to deal with them. I'm just saying right now.
I bring them luck. That's how I look at it.
We're at the Wikle Real Estate Services.
Yes.
Now, is this the commercial, or is it commercial and residential?
No, we are 100% commercial.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I know where the residential. At least I thought I did until we got here. I'm like,
yeah,
we're in the wrong place.
Yeah, he got out of that business a long time ago. So
Right.
yeah, we're strictly 100% commercial.
So Clover, what does Wikle Real Estate Services do?
So Wikle Real Estate Services is a full-service commercial brokerage. I think one of the things that makes us stand out in the marketplace is that the realtors and the broker and everyone that's involved here are actually real estate investors ourselves. Okay. So I come from the business background, so I kind of have a little bit of a unique perspective in that I've owned multiple businesses here for a very long time in the Tampa Bay area. So from a business perspective, a lot of times I share their knowledge and things that they're looking for. And I've also been a real estate investor for over 20 years. So I know that side as well, and how important that is to a lot of business owners to actually own their own business.
It's better than leasing.
It can be. I mean, there certainly are times where leasing makes sense.
Yes.
For a business,
okay.
And especially with cash flow and things like that. But these are all different types of talking points and conversations that we have with our customers, just to make sure that what we're looking for is in line with their values and with their goals.
So if I'm a business owner and I'm going, I really want to have my own place.
Yeah.
Because you know what? Then if I want to knock a wall out, I can. So how do we get started?
Yep. So the first thing is what is the type of business that you have, and what are your commercial needs?
Okay.
And then we sort of assess those and look at your budgets and look at what percentage of that building that you can allocate and so forth. A lot of times we have opportunities where we can make recommendations where I had a gentleman, an attorney last December that purchased a building that was occupied, and then this year one of the tenants came out and he was able to move into that and essentially have his rent paid for by the other tenant. So there are a lot of opportunities in that regard. There's opportunities, certainly as far as write-offs and having real estate. And then sometimes when you think that you can't actually afford the real estate, we have great partners. Flagship Bank, Valley Bank are great partners of ours, South State Bank. And also on the lending side, SBAs. So, a little bit different from the residential side where it takes they're looking for cash offers or they're shorter time frames.
Right.
The commercial time frame is much more extended.
Yeah.
There's a lot of due diligence process and things that have to be worked through. Every property is unique and different. But
is it zoned correctly?
Is it zoned correctly?
That's
Does
a
it
big
have
deal.
the right, environmental inspections? Can you use it? Is the land use, what you want it to be? So, we really partner with, the businesses to make sure that we're there for them throughout that process.
And so when you say it's extended, because I know typically to buy a house, if you're going through traditional financing, you're 30 to 45 days.
Yeah.
So with commercial,
So
it could be.
It can be, it could be 2 years, for something that's very unique.
Right.
But I've also had deals that close within 30 days.
Whoa.
So
Okay.
if you have the survey, or you don't need to have a survey, or it's a newer building and those parameters are spelled out, then it's a little bit easier process.
Okay.
The thing with commercial is there's no cookie cutter.
Right.
So every business is unique, every situation is unique. But we, try and work within the time frames that our customers need.
And I don't know how to ask this the right way. I think I do. So if I'm looking to buy my own place, but there's not a place available, but I got land. Do you work with them from the very, very get-go all the way to the finishing product?
So two things. If you're looking for land, we can assist you with that. If you have land and you want to build on that land, there's really not a lot for us to be involved in that process. However, we may be able to make recommendations for you based on the type of building that's being built and whether you'll have excess space that we can assist you in getting some tenants in there.
Great idea.
So, a lot of people just think like commercial real estate, that just has to do with actually purchasing the real estate. We help a lot of small business owners, particularly in the industrial space, find space. Industrial is very, very difficult. There's not as much out there, and it's the trades. Like we all need our landscaping companies and so forth.
Right.
So the cabinet makers, so they come to us and with their parameters, and we're able to assist them.
So are you running into the same thing that the residential side is, where there's just not a lot of inventory out there right now?
Yeah, yes, to some extent. So Pinellas County in particular is a little bit different in that we're landlocked. So, we don't have all these opportunities for growth maybe that some of the other counties have. So we don't have a lot of movement in the prices maybe that you see on the residential side. So sometimes when you see a lot of signs, I think where we're seeing maybe a little bit more on the market would be your larger office buildings and some of your retail spaces that have brought their employees to work at home and those type of things. But, a lot of the traditional, even some of the traditional storefronts, but, industrial, small, enclosed office spaces, medical are still very busy in Pinellas County and Hillsborough County.
So if I'm an investor looking to go, I need to sink my teeth into something.
Yeah.
Buying something that's got several tenants in it, that especially if they're long-term tenants, that's a great thing.
Yeah, so I work with a number of investors, right? So stock market has not been so great.
Right.
A lot of people on different levels, some higher level investors looking to park some money and redevelop projects. There's a lot of interest in that. I know we see storage units and car washes going up everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Where I live, there's two. And they're both being built right now. I'm like going, do we have that many cars?
Yeah. And apartments, like housing is an issue. So you have more and more apartments. They don't have places to take care of their vehicles.
Right.
So we're seeing those increase in those areas. And we're seeing a lot more areas like in the southern St. Pete, the Marina District is really starting to take hold. So there's all different types of opportunities, but even, there are some, customers that have owned their businesses for a longer period of time, are getting ready to retire, and, want to have that flexibility of having that cash. So, we even have a couple listings right now where they're for sale, but the tenants are actually interested in leasing back for a short amount of time. So there's some immediate income, where you don't even have to worry about finding a tenant for it. There's one built in. So there's just all different types of scenarios, and it really just kind of depends on, what your needs are, and as a customer, what you're willing to do. Are you just looking for something where there's a cap rate on it where you're going to make, 5.5%, 6% on your money,
right?
Or do you need something where you can actually occupy it yourself?
Why not?
Yeah.
Buy something, you have part of it, and let everybody else lease it out and help pay that payment.
And too, we come across a number of property owners too that have inherited property, and they just want to know what it's worth, or maybe they have a building that they have had for a little while, and just want to have a conversation. So we're always happy to let them know, like, this is what the market is allowing for these type of properties, right, just so they know where they're at.
Okay. So what's the best way, if I'm sitting at home right now watching this, going, okay, I need to reach out to Clover?
Yeah.
Because I got questions.
Yeah. So 727-787-2727, Wikle Real Estate. We're in beautiful downtown Palm Harbor.
Beautiful building,
yes.
By the way.
Thank you. Gorgeous. Thank you. Yeah, we have a great location, just right, close to the trail, walking distance to downtown, and we love all the redevelopment that we're seeing in downtown Palm Harbor too.
Okay.
It's exciting.
So is there anything that I did not ask? Because sometimes we'll get off camera and go, oh, we forgot about this.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just, I think so. I mean, we just, we offer a wide range, and it's not cookie cutter, and we're in the industry. So we just understand all the different backgrounds that come with,
and this is like a little family here too. I mean, it is actually family, but
yeah. So I mean, Paul Wikle, he's the broker. He's been in real estate, commercial and residential, for over 30 years. So, and he's a great resource for us, and he's a big investor as well.
If you live in this area, you knew Paul.
You pretty much know Paul. I know you know Paul.
I know Paul very well, and his wife.
Yeah, Robin's great.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
So okay. Thank you so much for being on my chamber.
Thanks for coming out. Yeah.
Thank you. You got to stop by. Just stop by and have some coffee. I don't know.
Yeah.
See Clover.
Yeah,
thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. It's been a great opportunity for us to be here. You could have been watching something else today, and we appreciate you sticking around and watching us. My Chamber TV is proud to bring you all the best businesses in the Tampa Bay area. Thank you, and we'll see everybody next week.
See ya.